everybody, so today I have a DIY video that shows you how to create your own denim bralette, perfect for the summer. For this DIY you will need a pair of jeans, fabric dye, a stencil, scissors, a sewing machine, a glue gun, a bikini buckle and other bits and bobs such as pens, a ruler and a pencil. Now if you don't have a sewing machine, don't panic because you can do this whole DIY using either a glue gun or fabric glue as well. So the first thing that I'm going to do is trace around my stencil. I got mine from the blog A Pair and a Spare, so I will leave the link to that below. When I've finished tracing around my stencil, I am then going to cut it out using pinking shears to prevent the fabric from fraying. I'm also going to leave at least a 1 cm seam allowance all the way around my stencil. Following on from that, I am then going to pin the two pieces of fabric together along the curved edge only, making sure that they are front facing. When you are finished, it should look something like this. You are then going to want to secure the two pieces of fabric together along the edge that you just pinned. As you can see, I decided to sew mine, but you can secure yours however you choose. When you're finished, it should look something like this. I am now going to move on to creating the cup for the right side of the body. The stencil that I was using was for the left side, so to make it appropriate for the right, I'm just going to flip it over. I am then going to draw around the stencils just like I did the first time. Once again, I am then going to cut around my outlines using pinking shears, making sure that I remember to leave a 1 cm gap all the way around the edge. Again, I'm going to pin the two curved edges together, making sure the front sides are facing. After that, I'm going to secure the two pieces together along the edge that I just pinned. This cup should now be a mirror image of my other one. I am now going to create a hem on the outside edge of the cup by folding it over and pinning it. When I've done that, I'm going to secure the edge that I just pinned. I'm then going to repeat the last two steps on the outside edges of both cups, but I don't want to do that along the bottom edge. I'm going to leave that bit raw for now. When you've finished yours, it should look a little something like this. To make the straps, I'm going to take the seam that runs down the outside of the jean leg and I'm going to cut off any excess fabric so that I'm just left with the seam. after doing that, you should be left with something that looks like this. This seam is going to make the band of the bralette that goes around my chest. So the first thing I'm going to do is align the two cups so that they overlap ever so slightly in the middle. I'm then going to align the band across the bottom of the two cups so that the bottom edges of each cup appear under the band. This is a bit tricky because I have to ensure that the top of both cups align as well. I will just need to keep tweaking it until it is just right. In the end, I measured the length of my band to find the middle and placed the right cup along the band, making sure that the one corner slightly overlapped the middle mark. I then pinned it in place and did the same with the left cup. So I'm now going to sew along the edge that I just pinned to secure it in place. When I've done that, I'm then going to cut away the excess denim that you can see here. If you feel like the edges need to be tidied up a little bit more, you can just go ahead and do that. When you've done that bit, it should look a little something like this. I'm now going to move on to create the shoulder straps. To do this, I'm going to measure out a strip 2.5 centimeters roughly in width. The length will depend on how long you need your straps to be. To give you a rough guide, you could measure the length of your bra strap. Now that I've marked the strap out, I'm then going to cut it out. When I've done that, I'm going to place the piece of denim that I'm left with face down on my table. I'm then going to fold each edge into the centre of the strip and pin it. When you have marked, cut and pinned both straps, you are then going to want to sew along the line that you have just pinned. I didn't feel it was necessary to show you exactly the same thing again for the other strap, so instead I'm just going to tell you that you need to repeat this last 3 steps again to produce a second strap. This next bit is where you're definitely going to need some form of glue. As you can see, I'm using a glue gun. The first thing I'm going to do is create a hem at one end of the strap, securing it with hot glue. After that, I am then going to apply hot glue to the back of the strap, securing it to the very top of the cup. I'm then just going to repeat those same steps on the other strap. When you have completed all of those steps, your bralette should look a little something like mine does here. To attach the buckle, I'm going to apply a small amount of hot glue to the end of one of the straps that go around my chest. I'm then going to stick one half of the buckle to it. To ensure it is firmly secured, I'm going to apply a small amount of hot glue to the top of the spot where I just applied the buckle. To attach the other half of the buckle, I'm then just going to repeat the last 2 steps. During the previous steps, I ensured that I kept my shoulder straps longer than they needed to be to allow for alterations. So now I'm going to try the bralette on and mark out how long I need my strap to be. After that, I'm going to cut away the excess. I am then going to use hot glue to attach the shoulder strap to the chest strap. After that, I am then going to do the same thing to the other strap. When you are finished, it should look like this. Moving on to the final step, I am now going to dye the denim. I chose Dylon's fabric dye in velvet black to do this, and I simply followed the instructions on the packet. This bit will be different depending on which fabric dye you choose or whether you choose to dye the fabric at all. When you have finally completed all of those steps, you'll have a finished bralette. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It took me so long to get it just right, getting all the clips that I wanted and editing them and making them look how I wanted them to look. So I really hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my channel for regular updates. My Twitter and Instagram and all things like that will be linked below as well as at the end of this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!